Hi, this is Brandon I. Brooks with the Los Angeles Sentinel newspaper. My pleasure today to be here with Jaime Foxx. Seriously, it's a pleasure to sit down here today.
Thank you.
But we are here today to discuss something specific, and that's what's going on now with you, which is very exciting. There's a lot of buzz in Hollywood, a lot going on everywhere. There's social media about this movie, Django Unchained. So before we get too much into it, why don't you let us know what the basis of this story is about? I've seen it, but let people know what's going on.
Well, basically, Django, let me start off at the beginning. Django was this script that was burning through Hollywood that Quentin Tarantino had written. And unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to read it. I was looking on the internet and saw that Will Smith was doing it. And I was like, man, here's another project that I didn't hear about.
Oh, wow.
But there was a management shift for me, and then the next thing you know, I got a chance to read the script. Now, in the script, it was about a slave who becomes a bounty hunter. But I think me playing the part, it's different because I'll play the part and then the articulation of the work afterwards. A person who's able to articulate, navigate through some of the tougher things that are in the script and make people understand why it's necessary to do. And then here comes Samuel Jackson, here comes Leonardo DiCaprio, here comes Christoph Waltz, here comes Kerry Washington, an all-star cast who, what I did really lock in on was the love story between Django and Broomhilda, and also the heroicness at the very end of the movie, the last 30 pages, where Django actually lives, where the slave actually picks up arms, becomes this bounty hunter, and actually lives and wins at the end. And the other aspect of, since we being from Texas, it was cowboys. Like we was riding horses. Back when I was a kid, watching Bonanza was a thing. You too young for that, but watching Bonanza and those types of iconic white cowboys that we never got a chance to really play on a big scale to it. But me being from Texas, it was just a little bit of a, I didn't knee jerk like someone from LA or someone from New York would, because when you live in Texas or you live in the South, there is a racial component that we live with. And I love the South, you know what I'm saying? But there were several moments where I was called the N-word or nigga or whatever that was. So I didn't knee jerk for that. But what I did, what I tell black folks, specifically black folks, you're not supposed to feel good when those words are being said. You're not supposed to feel good when a slave is being eaten by dogs, or you're not supposed to feel good when a black woman is being whipped. What I will say is this. When you talk about the Holocaust, every 2 or 3 years, there's a movie about their history. When you talk about slavery, it's so taboo, and it hurts so bad to even mention it that we don't want to touch it. And I'm the same person, you know, but I felt like this. For what this movie can do, especially for now and for 10 to 20 years from now, what it will do, it'll open our eyes up differently, because now if it's successful, that means the movie about our history can also be, at the end, you win. And that could set us up for a long time to go back and talk about certain things. The educational value of talking about slavery. When I was in New Orleans and I would see a person say, well, I'm going to Greenville to shoot on the plantation. Where's that?
Because a lot of the shooting was done.
It was a lot of the shooting was done on actual real plantations. When I would say to someone in New Orleans, I'm going to shoot on a plantation, where's that? I said, we have, no, I ain't. I've been here all my life. 50, 60-year-olds, 70-year-olds, 25, 19. We just don't have the knowledge. But what I did, I took my 2 daughters to the set and let them see my 18-year-old and my 4-year-old. Now my 4-year-old just ran, jumped, and played and had a good time, which is probably what a lot of young slave kids did at the time. They didn't really know how bad their situation was. But my 18-year-old was stunned. 7,000 names of babies that were killed on the plantation, because when a black woman would have a baby, the slave master was like, well, how are you going to pick cotton? So we killed this baby. So the atrocities that you see in Django is not even close to how it really was. But I think it's necessary for us to see that. It's necessary for Django at the, what I thought was the most difficult part in the script was when the dogs eat the Mandingo and tear him apart. But Django has to play this slaver character, and he has to play like that he's someone else.
was undercover.
He's undercover. But to see him have to deal with that, and to see his partner who's from Germany dealing with this happens, and to have Django say,
almost with the audience, we're all like, is this? And we're all learning.
Like this, and Django's like, this happens every day.
Yeah.
When we were doing the movie, started in rehearsals, and we asked, me and Carrie said, we want to have the word nigga said all the time. We want to understand, we want to go back and see what that's like. And it was tough.
I mean, it's very well done, acted, the imagery, it went there. So tell me those parts. I mean, upside down, I mean, how was it filmed?
I'll tell you what it was. For me, it was a lot of lack of sleep. Me and Carrie, especially because we connected, and I protected Carrie. That was my woman. Like, when you're doing a movie like this, you go beyond the character. You are Django. She is my Broomhilda. This was in the script. We've all prepared for this. But how you really going to get down to whipping a black woman? How is this really going to play out? However you got to what you're writing, now the ancestors are stepping in and saying, yeah, we're going to let you see how it is. And then Carrie actually asked for the lashes. And I looked at Quentin Tarantino, his eyepiece was filling up with water. But the one thing that I thought about was the evolution of freedom. Because at one point that was commonplace. And now when you look and we see black senators, black mayors, black president, those were the scenes where, it was tough. Now, one of the other things when we played music, when my first time I see my wife again, when I get back in the dinner scene, and Carrie is supposed to see me, and I played Faith. Your love is wonderful, yeah. Nah. I told Carrie, I said, I don't want you to know what's going on. I'm going to play this for you. And I saw the tears well up in her eyes. So we use music to get us through those tough times. We also use music, like I ran in the Puff, I said, look, I'm going to just be honest with you. I said, every time Django was getting ready to get revenge and start fighting, I played The Weak is the Strong. You got it going on. You're dead wrong. So I would play Dead Wrong or Somebody Got to Die. So there was it was a huge journey, man. And and it was tough. And there's always those moments where you feel like, you really don't want to mess it up.
It seems that you, and correct me if I'm wrong, that you took this role with some ownership, knowing that you wanted this responsibility of this character and all that it comes with. Everything. The gymnastics.
Everything.
On and off the camera.
Yeah, on and off, the good and the bad. I don't think that you take this, I don't think you do a project about slavery and not be courageous with it. I don't think you do a project with Quentin Tarantino for people not to talk about it. And like I say there's something in this movie for everybody to hate.
Well, one of my fears of the movie was that different people, as you said, people react differently. People because due to education and different reasons for them seeing for their reasons. But I was hoping that, man, this would be a great opportunity to really bring this discussion through Hollywood. As you said, we have movies on the Holocaust and others, but really the black era, the genocidal slavery hasn't really been.
It hasn't been touched. The reason being is because some of the people that were involved with slavery, not still live, but they're still remnants. It's still fresh. So what were beautiful stories? There's this one story that I know about called the Harrison Act. And the Harrison Act was an act that they passed to get rid of drugs. But the way they got that act passed, it said they were running stories in the South. Black man gets high on cocaine, rapes and kills white one. So they ban, and then the Harrison Act bans all of the drugs, but people, imagine somebody tell you orange juice is banned right now. But you got, right now. But what they didn't tell you is that during that time, slaves that worked on the docks were still doing drugs. The reason they were given the drugs so they could work longer hours. So that white man on the hill who wanted to do his drugs, where can I get some cocaine? Well, they do it on the docks. So they go down to one little innocent kid, bring me a glass. He just takes it, goes back. They ask him, and he goes back again. But it's innocent, because we don't think orange juice is really bad, but someone down there had some, and it's just an innocent thing. Him bringing this, and then all of a sudden, you need to bring it more and quicker, so they give him a bike, which is like a Ferrari. He gets a nice shirt because they gave him a quarter. So the next thing you know is he's on his bike, boom, he gets knocked over by a police officer. What you doing coming through here every day? I'll just take, well, how much you got? Well, every time you come through here, you just give me a quarter. First shakedown. Get back on the docks, he just doing his thing. He got a little girl liking him now because he can maybe go get her an extra whatever. And then all of a sudden the other slaves is like, how he get? Then they converge on the first hostile takeover. And it's the innocence of the Harrison Act. So there are a lot of stories.
How do you feel that the portrayal of the imagery and the slavery and that era was grasped in the best way that it could in this film?
This is what I learned, me being 45. I react to certain things about slavery and N-words and everything completely different from someone 25. Because,
and what do you mean by that?
Because what I know.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Because I know the words but they react to it like, yeah, we get it, but that was a long time ago, and it's it. And we watching the movie, so I had to sort of put my mind like it was like my parents. When you play your music, they go, "What is that you listening to, boy?" To me, it's the greatest. To them, it's like. So some of the reactions that I took to, they just went, "Oh, it's just part of the movie." I hear every reaction to this movie, from good, bad, to ugly, to great, to whatever. And the one thing I do take out of it is that there is something in knowing something about what we've, gone through.
I love the foxhole, by the way. You guys do an excellent job. Get me through with the Excel radio. I love what interview style, what you guys do. There's a lot going on in the social media sphere about this movie. I was like, I can't wait to see. I need to know what's going on. I need to see what they talk about. Because I hate that. People get all this reaction. There's people that are knocking, loving, hating. So what do you say to that?
That's part of it.
What do you say to the people out there?
A lot of people hating simply because they're not part of this movie on just the Hollywood side.
As far as just the process?
Just as far as they didn't get the part or wasn't part of it. There's a particular person that's really been on a personal thing, which I'm like, but this is what I can't do. I can't go address somebody so small and then miss out on 98% of the masses who don't have a computer, who don't read, who don't get on the internet, and who are actually fans of mine. And just like I was talking to Tom Cruise one day, and I taught him what player hating is, because I met Tom Cruise. He was nice and good looking, all the women's going. And I said, man, that ain't supposed to happen. He was telling me about a situation. And I said, yeah, they player hating you. He said, what? I said, no, man, player hating is, this is what player hating is. I'm in the club, I got my girls, we drinking, and you come in with the little jacket and the hair, all this, and Top Gun looking. And they said, oh, I like him. And I said, he's short or something like that. Or say something to knock him, just so the girls won't, like him. And so he understood that. And I said, don't let the person in the club that bought the one bottle of champagne with his rent money and hanging with don't let that person bother you.
What motivates Jaime Foxx?
The haters? No. But really, dude.
Well, there you go.
Because I'm competitive. And I know what it is. It's like.
So you don't like to talk about them, but you keep them close enough.
Yeah. But I understand, and I know it too. I know when I laugh a lot.
It means you have.
They hate seeing this big ass forehead and his teeth. They just this. You know why I used to do the joke? I used to call it, people suffer from the this motherfuckers or the this bitch. Like, black people love the this motherfuckers. We love to say that. You walk in the club and you see me, this motherfucker. And so, that's part of it. But what I like to do is, I like to create something and be part of something that is so fantastic that they become lovers. Like they say, I can't stand that dude, but I got to give him his prop because his work ethic and the way he goes about everything. And then also too, what motivates me is other artists. If I see Will, if I see Idris, or I see these guys and I'm a fan, and if I can do something to make them go, to make them check it out or whatever like that, that's a motivation. The Rick Ross thing in the movie, when he came to visit Quentin Tarantino, the name of his album was God Forgives, I Don't. That's a spaghetti western title. And so I'm sitting there watching Quentin and Rick sort of, go back and forth and talking. And I said, Rick, you should do a song for Quentin's album. And Quentin has never done an album soundtrack. Never done any original music. It's the first time. Wow. Never done it. Wow. I said, Rick, I'm not a rapper, but man, I'm seeing this. I said, you should do a song called 100 Black Coffins. And he was like, really? I said, yeah. I said, let me go to my trailer for a couple hours.
You came with that title, huh? We know you the musical man. That's the cold song.
But I'm not a rapper. I come back out, I said, Rick, I'm not a rapper, but I got it. I think you should say, I need 100 black coffins for 100 bad men, 100 black graves so I can lay. So I laid the track down, drove to Quentin Tarantino's house, let him hear it, because he don't like stuff on the internet. Then I drove to Rick Ross Hotel, told him put the weed down, come out here and hear this. So he comes out, his boy comes out and hears it, and then the rest is history. And now he's actually on the short list of Oscars. So.
Did you do anything for the soundtrack?
That was it. I did that.
With that, okay.
Yeah. But no, I didn't want. You know what? Like you'll get a bad case of this motherfuckers if I was to do the soundtrack.
They said, this is
Imagine if I'd have shot and then came out in there,
that's you on the Rick
me
Ross
singing. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, I can't stand this. Damn, I can't stand it. You know how it is. We really love and hate our artists. Think about it.
Well, let's not deal with the movie. How about music in general?
Music in general.
You working on anything?
There's a couple of guys back there. Look out for this guy named Classic, actually Tyron Turner, who's played Kane in Mentor Society. Classic is an artist and a writer. Okay. And my boy Brains, me and Brains actually did the Rick Ross track. I'm doing the album right now, but I went through some things like with this girl where she need an album? Yeah, well she Confessions? It was not even that, but it's like, you know, I never really thought about putting stuff in when you go through stuff, but this really like affected me. So it was like this girl, she had been so wrecked by whatever relationship she had already been in that when I came in with the fly gentleman stuff and did stuff for her and had a birthday and a whole, she was like, it was too much for her, you know what I'm saying? She didn't know how to take it. And so when we spun out of control, it's like the name of the song is She Needed Time to Heal. Like I didn't know that she had all these bumps and bruises emotionally. So that's one, She Needed Time to Heal. The other one is There's No Substitute. Cause there's no trust in me and there's no trust in you. It was just like this crazy like whirlwind thing. So we'll touch on that a little bit. And then we got this, what's that song? Because my car drives a little bit faster when you're with me. Because my star shines a little bit brighter when you're with me. Fuck with a nigga. Oh, so we're gonna have some like cool, like where I would be, you know, suit, tie, grown car. And then whoever does the feature, young, you know, so we'll split it in half so I could quit getting on my daughter's nerves. As a matter of fact, I sold a show called Dad Stop Embarrassing Me. And it's about me and my daughter because I'm always like we were flying to go see Leonardo DiCaprio for his birthday. So we're on a plane and I'm in the back singing, all I want for my birthday is a big, and she just looked back. She was with her boyfriend. She looked back and said, what are you doing? I said, what? And there was some other girls on the place. She said, oh my God, I don't know who you are. I said, what, that's a hot song. She said, you're too old to be singing this. And so she was always on me like,
you throwing 2 Chainz party away. I think you get a pass.
I know, but she's on me. So I actually took that to TNT about this guy who's a businessman who's trying to raise his young daughter by himself. And he's trying to put his business plan onto everything that she does. And all she wants is you to do, not be business, just be my pops.
Foxx spend his time when he's not Jaime Foxx.
Man. And I still have my party moments. What I like to do is, I have this thing what I call on my balcony. And my fun thing is when I see an artist that I dig, I throw a party for him. I do a party for, the first one I did was for Puff.
Well, you know, I'm an upcoming artist.
Man, anytime you need it, right? Anytime you need it, man. But the first one I did was for Puff years ago. And that's when he had We Ain't Go and no, and he was just on fire. Threw it at my house, real simple. I had Kentucky Fried Chicken, but I put it in nice bowls, and I had cola because we had a big argument because he was in Philly and he threw a party for $1.5 million. I was like, man, I ain't got that kind of money. But I threw him a party on the West Coast. It was a budget, but everybody was there. Like all the beautiful girls were there, but they were like not trashy, but not tight either. all the right people were there to celebrate him. And I said, man, the reason I'm doing this because I enjoy you as an artist. So we toasted. So that was about 12 years ago, and then I've been doing that since then. The last one I threw one for 2 Chainz here. I threw one for Drake here at this house. That was right after. You remember that? His album had just dropped. Girl showed up here at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I said, well, Drake's not going to be here to 10:30. Well, we'll stay. And Drake shows up, and when he shows up, I had a big drive-in movie poster of him.
Collaborate with Drake,
yeah.
And stuff and
yeah. So when he drives up, he sees that. You know, he's a young kid. He's like, man, nobody ever does anything for me. I said, no, man, I'm your big brother. I want to make sure that the people acknowledge your artistry. Everybody's hating so much that you need Jaime Foxx to bring you some light.
Jaime Foxx seems that you're the mentor to a lot of people.
You have to, man. You have to.
So it seems you movie, you got the album still coming soon. You're touching on everything. Foxhole Radio. It seems like nothing.
Foxhole Radio.
Stand up. How about stand up?
I'm going back on stand up because some of these cats is making me. Some of these cats.
I think we need a movie. Stand
yeah.
up,
Some of these cats is about to make me get on that stage and let them know what it really is. I'm trying to let them.
I think they forgot.
I'm trying to let them. I'm trying to let them get what they need to get, and for some reason they keep making these missteps, and that's why they still like in these. That's why they still in the club with no fans right now. I'm trying to let them do what they do. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to let them do what they do because it's gonna be like how was it? We was listening to the other. Here's what they think about you. That's gonna be me walking out. Yeah, I'm gonna play all that, and I'm gonna play everything what everybody said.
Like T.I. has a new album, Trouble. He's like, I'm not gonna tell you who the hater is. I'm just gonna address it.
That's what I'm saying. I'm gonna have that, and I'm gonna have that clip of Al Pacino in Godfather or whatever it was. Every time I get out, they pull me back in, and I'm gonna let these motherfuckers have it. And I'm gonna just keep it like that, cause my boy over there is like, keep it, and my publicist is like, stay up here, so I'm gonna stay up here. But about a year from now,
okay, it's important. We appreciate,
man. You know what? I want to say this though. I know. I want you to know one thing, in the person who runs your company, and everything about me, as a black artist. If black folk aren't behind it or happy about it, I feel like in a certain way I failed. And no matter what everybody else says, because it's going to be what it is, but I feel like I have to go through that and then everything else blooms. Now, at the same time, I have to be challenging to my black audience too, because I am moving as an artist, so I'm not going to always stay in the same place, but I always come back to that, making sure that everybody is good. So.
No, but we, like I said, we appreciate it. This movie's going to have a lot of dialogue about
it. Yeah, it should.
You like them out, what you feel, and we appreciate it. So we're going to get the word out, and we're going to spread it. So thank you, Jaime, for your time, and best of luck to Django in the movie.